So our next topic is type of bond cleavage. That is, in any reaction when it proceeds toward the reactant two products, there is the formation of new bonds and breakage of old bonds. Like when you will react some compound, like you will treat the carbon with hydrogen, so it will make methane. So there will be breakage of these bonds from the hydrogen molecule, and they will combine with the carbon to form the methane. So it's just an example. So there is type of cleavage, that is type of bond cleavage. There are two type of bond cleavage: homolytic cleavage and heterolytic bond cleavage. Homolytic cleavage or fission means when covalent bond breaks symmetrically, each of the bonded atoms takes away its electron and electron goes to each fragment. Each of the fragment thus formed has an unpaired electron and is known as free radical. For example, always there are in a bond there are two electrons involved. Suppose there is this molecule A and B, so there are two electrons. And in homolytic cleavage or fission, when AB breaks down, the each broken part goes with the one electron. So the bond breakages or bond cleavage is symmetrical, that I told you earlier. So it is known as homolytic fission or cleavage, and the product formed have a single unpaired electron, so they are free radicals. Whereas opposite of it is the heterolytic bond fission or cleavage. In heterolytic bond cleavage, when covalent bond breaks unsymmetrically, the shared pair of electron is taken away by one of the bonded atoms. Both electrons of the shared pair go to one of the fragments. So for example, this is a covalent bond as represented here by this hyphen. So when the heterolytic cleavage will take place, one fragment will go with the both the electron, that can be either A or B. Here I am representing B with this, so negative charge come on this part. And whereas the electron deficient part, that is the part from which the electron is lost, it comes with the positive charge. So this is the heterolytic cleavage. So next are the reaction intermediates. What are the reaction intermediate? So majority of the organic reactions takes place in more than one step. In the process of the reaction, the reacting molecules change to form highly reactive species known as a reaction intermediates. Suppose there is a reaction, that is A is changing into the B. So it is represented in paper as such that A is undergoing change to form the B. But in actual lab conditions, that practical condition, A doesn't changes directly to B. There are so many small steps are involved from where A goes to the B. So these small steps, that A changes to suppose D to C to D to E, and then it changes to B. So these C, D and E, which have very short lifespan, that is lifetime, very short lifespan, and these are called reaction intermediates. These are highly reactive species and have high energy. So these are formed either by the cleavage of old bonds or by the reaction of attacking reagent. These intermediates, these are very short-lived, highly energetic, unstable, and are immediately consumed in subsequent steps to form the final products. But they are very helpful in analyzing the reaction, that how A is changing into the B and what are the steps it's taking or undergoing, or how these intermediates react to form the B. So they are very important part of the organic chemistry. So there are different kind of reaction intermediate. First of them are carbocations, then carbanions, then carbenes and free radicals. So first of all we will take the carbocation. So here I had wrote the definition of carbocations. So carbocations are a group of atoms with carbon atom carrying positive charge and having only 6 electron in its valence shell. So and is known as the carbocation. So carbocations are also known as the carbonium ions. This EM word, this EM, IEUM, represents the positive charge. So if we go through the definition again, we will spot the key words in the definition. So a group of atom with the carbon atom. So in carbocation there will always be a carbon atom carrying positive charge. So carbocation, its name also indicates that carbon with cation. Cation means positive charge. So carbon with positive charge is called carbocation. So a group of atoms with carbon atom carrying positive charge and having this only 6 electron in its valence shell is known as the carbocation, and general formula of carbocation is this one. So here you always know that carbon has the valency of 4 that I told you earlier, so it will make 4 bonds, but in carbocation its valence shell will have 6 electrons. 6 electron means 2 electron from this bond, 2 electron from this bond, and 2 electrons from this bond. So its valence shell will have 6 electrons, and there will be, it will form the 3 bonds, 1, 2 and 3, and the fourth bond that is missing, and that bond is, these carbocations are reaction intermediates. So I told you right now that A is changing to B, so there are reaction intermediates and they are formed between the, in between the steps. So this carbocation is formed from certain substrate or certain that starting material, that is called substrate, so that will react to form the carbocation. So for example, the starting material like this, I have represented this hetero atom with the word X. Hetero atom, I already told you that different atom than the carbon, so it is hetero atom and it will react to form the reaction intermediate, that is carbocation. So here will be positive charge plus negative charge like this. There is a heterolytic cleavage which result in the formation of a cation and anion, and cation, here cation is with the carbon atom having positive charge. So what does definition says? It is the carbon atom carrying positive charge, so it will be called a carbocation, and anion is something hetero atom, it may be like a halogen or something else. So this is the sign of plus, that two products are forming here. So carbocation is with the positive charge here, and it will further react to form the certain product like this. Here from A to B the intermediate is formed. It is a very short-lived, highly energetic and unstable species, so it is not represented in the single in the reaction, but it is represented in the reaction mechanism. When you are asked to draw the reaction mechanism for the any reaction, you have to write the all the reaction intermediates that is formed during the reaction and consumed during the reaction. These reaction intermediates will form during the reaction and they will subsequently will be consumed during the reaction, and the and only product will be the last stable species that will remain there. So it will further react with something to form the product. So this is called carbocation. Further, next are the, in this next is the generation of carbocation. So carbocations are produced during organic reaction in many ways, such as by heterolysis of a covalent bond. So I already explained you that heterolysis of this covalent bond result in the formation of a cation and anion, and cation is the carbon atom with the positive charge with the attached side groups. So this is called particularly cation. This cation is called carbocation, and this is formed by the heterolysis of the reaction. So let me draw here again, that suppose this is a compound Rx, it undergoes heterolysis, and heterolysis will result in the movement of this electron pair on this hetero atom. So this is represented by this arrow. Arrow always represents the movement of electrons. So I already told you in heterolysis the one atom goes with the electron pair. So here positive charge plus negative charge, or this trialkyl chloride or tertiary butyl chloride undergo heterolysis to form the carbocation C positive plus chloride negative, and this is the hetero atom that goes away. And further there are many more other examples like benzyl chloride. This is called benzyl chloride, and it will undergo heterolysis to form the benzyl carbocation. So similarly further allyl chloride, So this is with the, these all are heteroatoms that goes away with the electron pair, and what left from in this substrate, this carbocation with the carbon having a positive charge. So generally if we will say carbocation, it means there is a carbon with the positive charge. So there is not need to say again and carbocation and there is a carbon with positive charge. If you will simply say that there is a carbocation, it means there is a carbon with the positive charge. Next is the generation of carbocation is the by addition of the proton to the unsaturated compound such as alkene, carbonyl compound and nitrile. So if you will add some proton to the unsaturated compound, here you can write the arrow, this bond, and like this pair goes to this. And if you will add the hydrogen, that is proton, to this bond, the electron pair will go on this carbon. In this double bond there are two carbons, this carbon and this carbon. The electron pair will go to this carbon and there will be the generation of carbocation, this positive charge. Proton comes here due to this electron pair goes to this carbon and there comes a negative charge, and this proton goes to this negative charge. Obviously opposite charges will attract each other and this carbon will left with the positive charge, so carbocation will be formed. So there are many more example of the formation of the generation of the carbocation. Everything is given in the book, you can read there from, and if you have any problem you can tell me. Next are the structure of carbocation. So first of all you have to derive the hybridization of carbocation. So to write the hybridization of carbocations, in carbocations carbon is with the positive charge. So it should be clear to you that carbon is with the positive charge and actual atomic number of carbon is 6. 6 means there are 6 atomic number, means there are 6 electron and 6 proton. So 6 electrons, so you have to write first of all the electronic configuration for the simple carbon atom, that is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. And in excited state you have to write, I have told you in the hybridization, that 1s2, 2s1, 2p3, or you can write 2s1, 2p x1, 2p y1 and 2p z1. So there are 3 electrons, 1 2 3, and this fourth unpaired electron is in s orbital in the carbon excited state. And in carbon positive there will be removal of 1 electron because carbon is single unipositive ion here. So you may write for C positive that 1s2, 2s1, 2px1 and 2py1, whereas for 2pz there is no electron, 1 electron is removed to form this carbon ion. So it forms the basically sp2 hybridization. So in carbocation the carbon atom will have sp2 hybridization. I told you how this is possible in this electronic configuration. So first of all you must know the atomic number of hydrogen, and atomic number tells us about the number of electron in that particular atom. So atomic number of carbon is 6, so there are 6 electrons, and atom is basically neutral, so number of electron is always equal to number of proton, because proton means the positive charge and electron mean the negative charge. So there are 6 electrons, so you have to write first of all the electronic configuration, that is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. And in carbon excited state, this one electron from the 2s2 orbital goes to this p orbital, and it becomes the 2s1 and 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. And in carbocation the charge is positive charge on carbon, that is formed by the loss of 1 electron unipositive. So this electron is always removed from the outermost shell, that is 2pz here in case of carbon. So you may write again this electronic configuration of carbocation, and this shows that it is the sp2 hybrid orbital. So in a carbocation positively charged carbon is sp2 hybridize, the three sp2 hybrid orbitals are used in the formation of sigma bonds with three other atoms or groups, and the remaining unused p orbitals remain vacant. Since the three sp2 orbital lie in one plane and are directed toward the corner of the equilateral triangle, so the carbocation has planar structure. So it means that these three sp2, there are total three orbitals, that is sp2, one s plus p plus p. p2 means there are two p orbitals, so first orbital, second p orbital, and s orbital. So there are total three orbitals. So they will have, I have already told you that the electron repulsion shall be minimum. To minimize this repulsion, these three orbitals will orient themselves in a manner to stay maximum far away from each other. So these are three orbitals. These three are sp2 hybrid orbital, and they are oriented in space with the 120 degree bond angle. So the carbocation has flat planar structure with electron deficient carbon and the three atoms attached to it lying in the same plane, and the bond angle around the positively charged carbon is 120 degree each. The unhybridized 2pz orbital, which is perpendicular to the plane of the three sigma orbitals, however empty. So these are three sp2 orbitals, and there are three different groups. See here there are three different groups, that two hydrogen and one this benzene ring is attached, or in this case there are two hydrogen and this carbon, this bond is attached. So there are three different groups. Let me represent them as these are rings. So it is the sp2 hybrid carbon orbital that of a carbon cation, and the left 2pz orbital, that is a vacant empty orbital that is present as perpendicular to the plane. So these three orbitals are planar, as this is a book, this is in a plane, particular plane. So these three orbitals are in a plane, and this 2pz orbital is oriented like this, upward the plane, and the downward this book, downward the plane. So these are three orbitals. So there is 120 degree bond angle. So next are the type of alkyl carbocation. So depending upon the nature of carbon carrying the positive charge, the alkyl carbocation may be classified as primary, secondary or tertiary. So how will you classify them, primary, secondary or tertiary? By the number of alkyl groups attached to the carbon. So for the primary, so first of all we will take basic carbocation, that is this is a methyl carbocation. This is formed from the like methane, CH4 or CH3Cl. Here one hydrogen is replaced with the chlorine. So this is a methyl carbocation. And next is the primary carbocation. This primary carbocation will be having one carbon-carbon bond, and this carbon-carbon like this R is a CH3, it may be C2H5 or C3H8 and anything else. So this is represented as, basically this is a single carbon-carbon. There is a one carbon atom attached to this carbon carbocation. So it will be called as primary carbocation. It may have here this ethyl group, propyl, something like that, but there should be a one carbon-carbon bond. So this is primary carbocation, that is represented by 1 degree. If you want to write secondary carbocation, so it will automatically have two carbon-carbon bonds like this. There may be, this may be methyl, propyl, butyl or something. I am just writing here methyl. So this is the secondary carbocation. After that comes the tertiary carbocation. Tertiary carbocation will have three carbon-carbon bonds. This, they may be methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl or something else. In books they are represented as like this. This is a primary carbocation. In books this is given. This is a secondary carbocation, and when this hydrogen will be replaced by R, this will be called the tertiary carbocation. But generally it means the carbon-carbon, number of carbon-carbon bonds present in a carbocation with the carbon carrying positive charge. So if this is called primary carbocation because this it have one carbon bond of this carbon carrying the positive charge, and in this case the carbon carrying the positive charge is attached to two carbon atoms directly, so it will be called secondary, whereas this carbon carrying positive charge in this case is attached to three carbon atoms directly, so it will be called tertiary carbocations. So this is the carbocation. Next is the stability of carbocation. So stability of carbocation can be explained with the help of inductive effect or hyperconjugation, resonance, and these are the three factors which explain the or the last factor I just forgot to tell you that if it is attached to the aromatic ring directly, so that these four factors explain the stability of relative carbocations. So inductive effect I already told you, inductive effect means the electron releasing or withdrawing effect. If there will be an electron, obviously if there will be an electron releasing group attached to this carbon atom, it will increase the electron density on this electron deficient carbon. So carbocation is always electrodeficient. Why? Because it have a positive charge, so it always try to satisfy its thrust or satisfy itself by the getting some electron from somewhere. So the group which is electron will be electron releasing in nature will satisfy its thrust for the electrons and will stabilize it, because it is a electron deficient compound, it have only 6 electron, so it will try to gain the 2 more electron or a negative charge as much as possible. So if it directly gets 2 electron, that is a very good thing for it, but if doesn't get 2 electron directly, it will try to get the negative charge to satisfy itself. So the groups attached to the carbocation, all those groups which releases electron will satisfy it and make it more stable. So similarly in case of resonance, the increase in the resonance, that is resonating structures, will result in the formation of a stable carbocation. And last is the aromaticity. If aromatic groups are attached to the carbocation directly, then they will be more stable. So we will take next time the trend of stability of the carbocations.